Hey travelers! Today we're diving deep into Genshin Impact history, counting down the top 3 DPS characters from each region. From the early days of Mondstadt in version 1.0 all the way to the fierce warriors of Natlan in version 5.1, we're ranking the absolute heavy hitters that ruled the battlefield in each era. Let's see if your main made the list. First up, we're starting in the Land of Freedom in the City of Wind, Mondstadt. Back in version 1.0, our roster was pretty limited, but that didn't stop some of these characters from standing out. Our first pick goes to Diluc, the OG Pyro DPS. Back in 1.0, Diluc's high attack power and burst damage made him the premier choice for any DPS role. With his Claymore and Pyro skills, he set the standard for single target and AoE damage. Next is Klee, the explosive catalyst user who brought her bombs and adorable personality to the field. Klee was all about pyro damage, and her high multipliers made her devastating against enemies with low elemental resistance. And finally, we have Eula, a Cryo Claymore, but came in hot, known for her devastating physical damage output and high burst potential, showing us that burst DPS characters could bring insane power with just one big strike. Moving on to Liyue, the region that expanded our horizons with powerful characters and complex gameplay. Liyue is known for its deep culture and unique characters. First up in Liyue, we have Tartaglia, also known as Child. His playstyle makes him a powerhouse for dealing massive area damage quickly and efficiently, switching from long-range hydro bow attacks to intense melee stance with his signature dual blades. Next is Hu Tao, the head of the Wangsheng funeral parlor, brought high-risk, high-reward gameplay to the field. With her Pyro polearm skills, she could obliterate enemies at low HP with her Paramita Papilio state, making her a beastly single-target DPS. And lastly, we can't forget Ganyu, one of the first Cryo DPS queens, who changed the game in version 1.2. Her charge shots were legendary, melting enemies with her AoE Cryo damage. Ganyu's Frostflake arrows made her the most consistent DPS in Liyue, especially when dealing with grouped enemies. Next, we sail to the islands of Inazuma, where we saw an evolution in combat styles and strategies. Let's see who dominated Inazuma's roster. First is Raiden Shogun, the Electro-Archon herself. Known for her incredible burst damage, energy regeneration, and her synergy with other characters, Raiden redefined Electro DPS and brought unmatched versatility. Our second pick is Ayaka, the Cryo Sword user, who brought new depth to Cryo teams with her fast attacks, strong burst, and consistent freezing abilities, perfect for permafreeze compositions and Cryo resonance setups. And we have Yoimiya, the fireworks expert, with her rapid Pyro bow attacks. Though single-target focused, her consistent Pyro DPS output and fast attack animations make her an excellent option for bosses and elite enemies. Now we journey to Sumeru, the land of wisdom and Dendro. This region brought us new elemental reactions and characters that pushed DPS strategies further than ever before. First, we have Alhaitham, the Dendro DPS, with incredible elemental infusion and AoE capabilities. His mastery over Dendro reactions made him an absolute powerhouse. Next is Wanderer, brings a unique blend of style and power to the battlefield. Once known as Scaramouche, this Anemo character has quickly become a fan favorite, and for good reason, but the real magic lies in his aerial combat. And lastly, we have Tignari, a Dendro archer who excels in quick burst attacks with his charge shots. His unique skill set makes him great for quick swap teams and dealing with multiple enemies at once. Then we have Fontaine, the land of Hydro, where new characters with unique abilities and gear brought a refreshing meta shift. Leading Fontaine's charge, Nouvelette, the Hydro Dragon, stands out as an absolute beast. His Hydro beams deal consistent high DPS, and his sustain through self-healing makes him a fantastic solo DPS. Next is Wriothesley, the Cryo character with a focus on charged melee attacks. His boxing style adds a fresh flavor to DPS combat, and he shines especially well in teams that capitalize on Cryo reactions. And last but not least, Arlecchino, also known by her codename, the Knave, revolves around gaining and consuming from a bond of life, and it is the epitome of high risk, high reward. Her basic attacks are swift and precise, perfect for players who enjoy fast-paced combos. Her attacks deal pyro damage, adding a fiery twist to her relentless assault. Finally, we arrive at Natlan, the region of Pyro. In this latest version, currently we have 2 DPS characters, Mualani and Kinich, but they are pushing the meta to new heights. First up, we have Mualani. She delivers one of the highest single-target DPS in the game, combining her with massive AoE attacks. Her abilities are explosive, both literally and figuratively. And lastly, we have Kinich, brings insane single-target Dendro damage, with super fast and hard-hitting abilities. With his unique abilities, he offers a fresh approach to combat that is sure to excite players. So there you have it, the top DPS characters from every era of Genshin Impact, version 1.0 to 5.1. Did your main make the list? Do you have a personal DPS favorite that's still carrying your team? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy exploring and happy pulling, travelers. Catch you in the next video.